Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. I'd like to welcome those attending this meeting today and also those watching live on the Council's YouTube channel. I'm Cllr Jonathan Bianco, the Deputy Leader of the Council, and I will chair the Cabinet meeting today. Around me are my Cabinet colleagues, and together we will make the key decisions relating to Council services. For those watching online, the agenda is available to view using the link underneath the live broadcast. Copies are also available in the room, and at the end of the public part of the meeting, the Cabinet will move to a private session and the live feed will be cut. For those of you in the room, we are not expecting a fire drill, so if the fire alarm does go off, please follow officers to the fire exits and out of the Civic Centre to the designated meeting point. I would ask anybody with a mobile phone here tonight to please, at the very least, turn it to silent. And I'll check that I've done the same with my own. Before we begin this meeting, I'd like to briefly explain how the meeting will be conducted. This is a meeting held in public, which means that whilst you're all welcome to observe, it is not a public meeting in the sense of allowing public participation or speaking. To ensure the meeting proceeds smoothly and that everyone present can hear clearly what is being said, I would politely ask you to be quiet and attentive throughout. In a moment I'll go through the items listed on the agenda, but first I have a few more housekeeping matters to address. The first item on the agenda is apologies.
Thank you, Cllr Bianco. We have apologies from Cllr Edwards and Cllr Lavery.
Thank you. Secondly, does anyone have any interest they need to declare? No, thank you. Thirdly, can we approve item 3? Can we approve the minutes of the last Cabinet meeting as shown on pages 1 to 11?
Agreed.
Agreed, thank you. And fourthly, can I Yes, can I make clear that there are 4 items in part 1 as shown on the order paper.
Yes.
And then a number in part 2. Thank you. The first item, therefore, is item 5, which is the closure of retail operations and review of support services from the Rural Activities Garden Centre. In the absence of both the leader and Cllr Lavery, I will be leading this report, and I think it's fair to say that until a year or so ago, it was part of my portfolio, so I'm very familiar with the RAGC. The decision tonight to close the retail operations at the RAGC and to consult... stop. First of all, I must move a small alteration to the agenda. On page 17, in point 2, the last line is slightly inaccurate. In the last sentence, it says all volunteers, and that should read all gardeneers. So we can just note that change. Okay. Right, I'll start again. The decision tonight to close the retail operations at the RAGC, and that is the decision we're proposing to make, and to consult on relocating the universal service and nothing more. And in a minute I will ask my colleague Cllr Palmer to speak from a social services perspective in respect of that. We have come to the conclusion, and noting that life is not as straightforward as we would like it to be, that it is inappropriate to ask all of Hillingdon's residents to subsidise loss-making operations. And this isn't the only place we've looked at these situations. We've recently altered the way we run the theatre with a very successful outcome with a new operator and a stopping of subsidies. We've done this with our golf courses, where we've got a new operator and a stopping of subsidies, and both of those are going to see improvements in what is offered to our residents in both of those areas, and this is another place where we can no longer support this loss-making part of the operation. Historically, I suppose before the great expansion of garden centres that have taken place across the country, and certainly it's true in our borough, it perhaps fared a little better, and certainly COVID was a very significant impact in terms of the operation of this centre and the money that was made or not made from the sale, the retail element of this service. And it is with that in mind, the fact that it hasn't turned a corner after COVID, despite the efforts we have made, that brings us to the conclusion that we need to close the retail operation at the garden centre. The garden centre decision is a decision in its own right. It isn't a decision that is linked to the other activities on the site, the social service element of the site. That is a separate thing, and we are not tonight moving to close those. We are moving tonight to close the retail operation and to set about a review which is already underway with the users of the centre about alternatives that we can offer them, which we believe will provide a better service for them in the future, more of which Councillor Palmer will talk about in a minute. I'd like to acknowledge, of course, that we have had 2 petitions, and there have been quite a number of campaign letters. I believe the MP who's sat over there has even raised the matter in Parliament. It's a shame he hasn't raised some of the other issues that this council's fighting against at the moment, but we live in hope. We are committed to ensure that all those with assessed social care needs will be provided with similar, if not enhanced, support and activities elsewhere. And should this relocation be necessary, all current gardeneers, whether in receipt of social care services or not, will be offered a social care assessment should they so choose to take it up. And I would say, of course, that any member of the general public who feels they should have a social care package can approach the council at any time. That's just standard practice, and they can do it online or they can make a phone call. We are committed to ensure that all those with assessed social care needs are supported going forward. Furthermore, we're working with voluntary sector partners to create a wider range of opportunities for those without social care packages, so to give them a choice of what they might or might not do going forward. And lastly, I'd like to touch on the other issue that has come to the fore, which is that of trying to turn this property into an asset of community value. Just to be clear, that is not, the council's looking at it, and I'm not going to get in the way of the officer work that's being done, but an asset of community value can only come into existence if the owner of that asset, and in this case the council, decides to sell. One often hears these coming up when a pub is proposed to be closed or something like that, where the residents of that area get together and get it declared a community asset and then go to run it themselves. There is no plan, the council has no plan to dispose of the RAGC site at this time. So the issue of it being made an asset of community value is irrelevant at this point. If and when, and I underline those words, if and when the council decides to sell this site and there is no current proposal whatsoever to do so, then and only then can an asset of community be brought into effect. Thank you. Councillor Palmer.
Thank you, Deputy Leader. I wanted to address this item tonight as Cabinet Member for Social Care. It's clear to me from the amount of people that are here and the amount of people that are outside and the amount of people that have showed an interest in this whole proposal that all of us are interested in the well-being of our residents. It's something that I take extremely seriously, and I hope when you finish listening to me you will understand a little bit more about what we are actually doing. So today we're at an important part for our community as we talk about the future of the universal service, offering volunteer opportunities at the Rural Activities Garden Centre. Some of those residents who volunteer have established care needs and use the universal service to undertake day care activities accompanied by their support workers. The Council, and I in particular, are dedicated to improving services for those who need it, and I truly believe the proposal before us this evening will result in us offering better care to those who need it with clear, measurable results. As we think about closing the retail side of the Rural Activities Garden Centre and moving support services to the Civic Centre campus in Uxbridge, our main goal is to ensure our residents are well taken care of. You shake your heads. You shake your heads. I don't want comments, I'm stating what you're doing. You're shaking your heads. You need to give us a chance here, and please let me finish. Our main goal is to ensure our residents are well taken care of. Our adult social care staff will ensure that anyone with needs or requires an assessment of their needs will be supported. On that you have my word. Social care is about focusing on how to meet those needs, and this can be done in a variety of locations, giving people a range of options. This is what happens now. And in the future, people want this to continue, so to support them in the future and make this possible going forward, the proposal to offer a similar range of opportunities, including gardening, handiwork, adult education courses in a safe, sustainable location, is an enhancement of the current position, not a reduction. I repeat, not a reduction. Our plan is all about making sure each individual resident gets the support that's right for them as part of person-centred care. This approach not only follows the Care Act 2014, but also raises the quality of care. Residents will benefit from being close to essential support services and having chances to engage with the community. Our green spaces will be developed together with the community, making the area better and offering a calming environment for everyone. We promise to keep consulting and working with our residents, staff and volunteers to ensure smooth transitions if the decision to relocate is taken. All of the social care users have had contact with social workers. They are meeting with the manager from daycare who will support them in the future. They are carrying out social stories in picture formats. Families have been offered reviews of the care packages and other people have come forward for a new assessment. Everyone with a need will be supported and we will ensure that they continue to have good experiences, opportunities and maintain relationships. I thank you for listening with quiet and I now hand back to the leader. Deputy Leader, sorry, you had a promotion there.
Thank you. Not one I want. Thank you, Councillor Palmer. I thought it might be useful in case some of you haven't got copies of the agenda or haven't got sight of a copy of the agenda. I will read the recommendations that are listed on page 15. There are 6. The first is to agree to cease retail side operations based at the RAGC on or before the 31st of July. I'm not reading them in full, I'm giving the main gist. The second is to agree further consultation on the future of the services at the RAGC site for those in receipt of assessed social care services, with a commitment to ensure identified needs continue to be met, along with further consultation with those who attend the RAGC as volunteers and on proposals to A, relocate them, with assessed care needs, those with assessed care needs to the Civic Centre campus, to provide enhanced horticultural services and develop opportunities. B, to support voluntary service users to move to partner organisations within the local area, offering a more diverse range of activities, including horticulture and biodiversity, and opportunities for paid employment positions should they desire to do so. The Council would provide training and assistance where required. C, to consider no change in the location of voluntary and support services for those with assessed social care needs. Item 3, note the initial engagement that has taken place with those with assessed social care needs and volunteers with regard to the proposal, and duly considers the petitions and views received during the petition hearing held on the 11th of June, as set out in the report. 4, to note that staff consultations has commenced as part of the proposal in relation to the closure of the retail side of the centre. 5, to note that there will be further consultation and engagement with regard to the proposals using independent advocacy where appropriate. And 6, subject to the conclusion of the above and taking into account consultations and the Equalities Impact Assessment, delegate authority to the Cabinet Member for Community and Environment to make a decision on the future of the RAGC site and relocation of the service provisions accordingly. Those are the 6 recommendations as set out on page 15 of the report, and I move them. Is there any further comment from... In that case, I move the recommendations. Are they agreed? Agreed. Thank you. That concludes this item. Now, you're all very welcome to stay for the rest of the Cabinet meeting. However, if we will adjourn briefly for 5 minutes for those who want to leave and go about next business. I accordingly adjourn.